Welcome to Foundation Friday. The dedication and covenant of silent unity was signed on December 7th, 1892 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of the Unity movement. It is unlikely when they signed this covenant that they had any idea how far-reaching unity would be as it evolved into the church we know and love today. We invite you to join us as we explore and share some of the original ideas, teachings, and writings of the men and women who created the foundation of the Unity Church.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us today for our Foundation Friday program. Today we are looking at the wisdom from Lowell Fillmore. Lowell was the oldest child of Unity co-founders Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. As always, his lessons end with 7 separate meditations, and you're invited to use them one a day as you take this teaching deeper into your awareness. Today's offering is your divine menu. It might surprise you. Remember that in the beginning, when man had been created in the image and likeness of his Father, God, and had been given dominion over all living creatures, God specified what he should eat. This is what God said to man. Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. And God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. Now, according to scriptures, a non-flesh diet was God's original plan for both man and beast. Only growing plants and their fruit and the fruit of trees were to be eaten by man and beast. However, there was one tree, the fruit of which Adam man was instructed not to eat. This tree was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But Adam man was later tempted by an idea in his own mind to believe that he knew better than God what he should eat. Since God is infinite in his potentialities, his creation also, animals, plant, water, chemical elements, and so on, must have infinite potentialities. And since the qualities of things available to man are practically unlimited, man may easily turn them to adverse and destructive as well as constructive uses. The possibility of man's wrong use of things is well illustrated by the story of the tree of knowledge of good and evil in Genesis. God had forbidden Adam to eat the fruit of his tree. So long as Adam did not eat of this tree, he was able to enjoy the beautiful and harmonious things that God had provided for him in their pristine goodness. But after he ate of this tree, this clear perception of truth was blurred, and to him, life presented an adverse aspect. Where he had found only good heretofore, now he found evil also, because he had introduced it into his life. Out of the infinite possibilities God had provided, man created a state of mind that was not compatible with the Garden of Eden consciousness, and it rendered him no longer fit to live in the perfect state. Since God's Garden of Eden was composed only of good, it was not possible for Adam and Eve to remain in it while they believed in both good and evil. But even after they had left the garden, God did not forget them or cease loving them. God's infinite love withholds nothing from his children, to whom he has given the power to create by their words. They are free to use his gifts wisely or unwisely. They are permitted to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and also to eat flesh, which was not included in the original menu God gave man. While a flesh diet is not included in God's original plan, neither was a mental diet of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil included in his plan. God shows his unselfish love for man by giving him freedom to choose and use any of the possibilities that the infinite scope of his being affords. Even though what he does may prove to be harmful temporarily to himself, man may choose unwisely, but God's love will eventually bring him back into the fold. Adam Man chose the hard way of learning how to use God's goodness, the way of experimentation. By this way, Adam was forced to earn his bread by the sweat of his brow. No matter how many mistakes man makes, God still loves him and sees him in spirit and in truth as his perfect child, whom he created in his own image and likeness, and who is potentially able to make manifest the Christ perfection and to dwell again in the beautiful garden. Then he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, and righteousness shall be the girdle of his waist, and faithfulness the girdle of his loins. And the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the lion shall eat straw like the ox. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. Man will someday realize that he can demonstrate his dominion over the animals by his wise supervision of them, which will help them to be of greater service to God, to one another, and to men. Then man will not destroy them for food. God's loving cooperation permits us an opportunity to improve ourselves by degrees, a little each day if we so desire. In this way, we are able to share his omnipresent blessings to the extent that we are willing to work with him towards his perfect plan for us. All things are prepared for his children, but we, his children, must be willing to cooperate with him voluntarily in reestablishing his perfect garden on earth. Each day I am privileged to become a little more loving and to manifest a little more divinity in my being, if I am willing to do so. To the extent that I appreciate and live up to the Son of God standard, I shall be able to enjoy the richness of my Father's inheritance. Okay, so that's his message, and we'll go into his affirmations for daily meditation, and then I have a few comments. So the first one is, I am obedient to the wise and loving will of my Father, God. The next one, the will of the Spirit, not the will of the flesh, is being done in me. This next one's a little longer. The creative powers of the word that God has given me are being directed according to his wise plans. My meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to accomplish his work. My eye is single, beholding God's good creation as being everywhere present. Only the good is real in my world because I trust only in his good creation. And the last one, I rejoice because God has bountifully blessed me with his love and spiritual substance. Okay, so that's the lesson from Lowell Fillmore. Of course, you may have reacted to any part of that or none at all, but I often think about the fruit of good and evil and how different life would be if we had never experienced that metaphorically, whatever that was. If we had never had the chance to make mistakes or try new things or go outside the lines, what kind of a people would we be? I'm not sure it was a bad thing personally. And the whole thing about animals eating fruit and vegetables, if that was so, there would be no balance in nature. Different animals prey on different animals to keep population down. So there were a lot of things I had questions about in that. I think the overall message is we have choice. And even if we choose unwisely, we never separate from the love that is God. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Before we go, please know you matter. You are sacred, and you are so, so very loved. Thank you for being with us. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.